Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, welcome to this audio-only AO broadcast coming your way as the Andover Huskies take on the Anoka Tornadoes from Princeton High School in the semifinals of Section 7 4A. I'm Joe Ruland, and to my side is Pete Hayes as the Huskies come in with a record of 20-7. And meanwhile for Anoka, 12-15, and an impressive win over Blaine just the other night. And meanwhile, we're going to get into the starting lineups real quick. And Pete, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Well, nice to be here, Joe. A snowy afternoon. That's typical March basketball weather here in the state of Minnesota. And really looking forward to this game. I had an opportunity to watch these two teams play each other about a month ago, and it was a 5-point game. So Anoka played them very tough.
There you get a look at the starting lineups. Donald Pra will start at guard along with Chris Cooper. Peyton Podani also as a guard. He's been explosive this season. Evan Frecking draws the starting chores now that they are without the services. Regan Reeder, we'll get into that shortly. And then Trey Borchers, also a starter there, led by head coach Jesse Jefferson for the Tornadoes, doing a great job. And again, they had a mark of 12-15. Meanwhile, for all the Huskies, they got Sam Musungu at a guard along with Ben Kopetsky. That dynamic duel, averaging some impressive numbers, will enhance here throughout the game. Chase Pemberton gets the start tonight. Usually comes off the bench, but he's got some pop from the perimeter. And then Tate Johnson also in the low block, getting the start for the Huskies. And Landon Nelson, I call him the scoring or performer whisperer for the Huskies, because he just manages to produce numbers game in and game out, led by the head coach Jeremy Habel for the Huskies in the second season. Huskies are in the black. They'll be moving left to right. And of course, we had mentioned These two teams have met twice this season, Pete, and they are 2-0. That are the Huskies, 2-0 with the lead. The most recent one we're going to expand on is the one you had a chance to cover, and that was a tight battle, but the Huskies got the win. Off the tip, Huskies moving left to right, pick up the tip. Musungu on the perimeter. 3-ball, corner pocket, in and out by Nelson, scrambling for the rebound. Picked up and on transition. Here come the Tornadoes. A good transition and closing it up. Taking it to the bank. Chris Cooper starts it off 2-0 here for Anoka as they beat the Huskies on the transition off the rebound. Kopetsky, a stop and pop from the corner. No good. Deflected out of bounds by Nelson, and now it'll be Anoka's ball for the Tornadoes as they jump out 2-0, Pete.
Yeah, good start for Anoka. Anoka has two very talented young guards, and Podani is one of them, and the other one is Trey Borchard, and they're up against the two senior veteran guards for Andover.
Trying to cut down below. A nice block there by the long arms of Pemberton underneath. Transition turnover there by Andover. Jumping in front of that was Pra. Pra drops it back up. They'll set up that offensive roll again, and that's Podani. Podani being guarded closely by Musungu. He makes the cut in front. Back to a man-to-man D is what they'll mostly play here for the Huskies. A three off the front of the rim. Kopetsky with the board. 6 boards a game is what he's averaging, plus 25 points a game. Musungu takes a look from behind the perimeter. In and out, no good. Board connected by Cooper. Cooper on the transition. Continues, doesn't pick up the dribble, but does kick it out to the perimeter here. And off the wing, no good. Getting the offensive board, and the rebound in for 2. Nice shot there by Podani.
I believe that was Evan Frecking, 21.
Frecking.
You know, Frecking's taking Reeder's spot. Not quite as big as Reeder, but nice job right there on the rebound.
Pemberton in on the drive, no good. Offensive rebound is Nelson. He'll go to the line and be awarded with 2 free throws. And right now it is a 4-0 start here for the Tornadoes, and Frecking a nice offensive board and a putback for 2.
Yeah, Anoka had a reboot after Reeder goes out. Reeder, they're one of their top players, big guy in the middle. They struggled a little bit, lost, I believe, 6 of their last 7 games, Joe, and then they came out and beat Blaine. So they're trying to figure it out now with Frecking in that starting spot.
Nelson goes 50% from the free throw line, hits the second, and the Huskies are on the board 4-1 here early in the first. It's a 4-1 lead, that is, for Anoka. Working the perimeter on this man-to-man D. Now a dribble drive, kicked back out there by Anoka. Anoka 12 and 15 to the lane. Good cut back. Now thrown to the corner. 3-ball, corner pocket. Yes! Borchers hits his first 3. A good kick-out pass and a dime there. Delivered by Cooper. Kopetsky brings it up. He'll take the 3. He'll hit the 3. He reciprocates that effort, and now it's a 7-5 lead for Anoka. They quickly bring it back up court. Working on Podani there. He'll drop it back off to Borchers. Borchers near side of the court. Chance there to Cooper. Sets the pick up high. Makes the spin move inside. Good power move. Absorbs the contact from Kopetsky and puts in 2, and now back up to a 4-point lead for Anoka. Transition down low in the block there. Travel called on Tate Johnson, as they say he took that Euro step that they didn't want. So a 9-5 lead already here, Pete, for Anoka.
Yeah, I really like Chris Cooper. Cooper is very aggressive going to the basketball. Senior leader for Anoka. Like I said, they have a couple of young guards at 6'3" and 6'2", and Podani and
another
Borchard.
drive there to the rim, off, no good, and rebound goes to Kopetsky. Huskies are on transition here. He stops, stalls, now tries to take it to the board, draws the foul, and Kopetsky will be at the line for 2.
Boy, Evan Frecking said no, and he pounded him underneath. He made that foul count, that's for sure.
He did. First foul on Frecking, second team foul on the Tornadoes. 14:55 to go here in the first half, and it is a 9-5 lead for Anoka. Kopetsky misses his first of 2 from the charity stripe, gets a look at the second, and this one is good.
Yeah, Kopetsky doesn't miss many free throws, so that was an oddity right there.
Kopetsky averaging 25 points a game, 6 boards, has his 4th point of the game after he's already hit a 3. 3-point lead, 9-6 here for Anoka. Driving, Frecking, kick out, 3-ball, corner pocket, yes! Lighten it up, a kick out, Pra says, I'll take that 3.
Yeah, nice job by Anoka working inside, then dishing back outside and hitting a couple big threes from the corner.
Rebound kicked out. Pemberton, he can have the three and hits the front of the rim on the attempt there. Deflected out of bounds. It will be awarded to the Huskies. A 12-6 lead for the Tornadoes. They come out hitting those threes, Pete, and grid transition game.
Yeah, absolutely. Anoka is starting just the way that they need to. They're going to need to play an almost perfect game against the defending section champions.
Musungu's attempt at a three is long off the board. A floater for an outlet pass here. Moving it ahead down to Cooper. Cooper draws the foul on Andover. But, boy, you got to like the tempo that Anoka's coming out with. A team that's been averaging 68 points a game, taking on the Huskies, who are averaging 85 points a game. And right now, Anoka is kind of setting that tempo.
Well, neither of these teams are the taller teams in Minnesota. They're runners, shooters.
Borcher's attempt long on the three. Rebound Musungu. Musungu leads his fast break, doesn't pick up the dribble till he gets to the lane, makes the move to the lane and puts up the layup for no foul, but it will be the Huskies' ball.
Well, that's what Musungu does. He drives that lane. He doesn't shoot a whole lot from the outside. He really likes to drive with that quickness.
Inside, here's a three ball for Pemberton. He misses. Unusual for him, usually a very strong three-point shooter. Rebound, transition, coming back, swatted away. Frecking has it, kicks it back out top here. You get a look. Podani. He's averaging 13 points a game and 5 rebounds, and deflected out of bounds by Musungu. Now into the game for first look tonight to Luke Deneke. And Deneke will come in, and it'll be Tate Johnson taking a towel for a while. And Deneke's kind of a microwave type player. He creates some great momentum off the board. This one is short. Unable to convert. There he is. Deneke with the rebound just in. Kopetsky on the transition. Man-to-man D as well, and now dropping it back. Good dime and converts. He and Deneke can beat that fast break transition. And Deneke collects his first two, down now by 4 as Anoka up 12-8. The Huskies set up defensively. A little give and go down below. Deflected there on the pass. Here comes Sam Musungu. Musungu hesitates. Now a nice little Euro step on the release on the dribble. Deneke gets the board. First to it there. Pember gets the kick out. Yes! Pemberton heating it up now. 1 for 3 in the game from the perimeter. And the Huskies draw within 1, 12-11.
Yeah, Pemberton's not afraid to put it up from the outside. Hits a big three there for Andover to start this game.
Praw almost trapped. Kicks it to the corner. Off the iron on the three-point attempt, that time by Podani. Transition ball. Deneke puts it up hard off the backboard, and the rebound comes back here to Anoka. Driving the baseline. A runner off the front of the rim. Good hands. Quick possession there by Musungu. Musungu now takes this to the lane. Draws no foul off the rim. In and out. And they are going to call a foul here on Anoka. Deneke had possession, and I'll tell you, Deneke is impressive. He came in off the bench and already picked up a couple of rebounds, picked up 2, and he's just got that flash or that ability to kind of contribute immediately.
Yeah, he's a scrappy player out there for Andover, just a junior, so you'll see him back in this lineup next year. Anoka, very young lineup with Frecking and Borchert and Podani, a couple of sophomores and a freshman. Interesting thing is, Frecking was the starting quarterback for Anoka, hurt himself, and I can see he has a brace on his leg. And then Podani came in and was the quarterback for the second half of the season. So you have to be a pretty good athlete to be a quarterback.
In right now is Caleb Schur for Anoka. Also joining it in, Huskies missed both of the free throw attempts. They are 2 of 6 from the charity stripe to start the game, and possession arrow on that tie-up after the missed rebound will go to Anoka. Yeah,
nice job by the big man, Landon Nelson, for Andover to get in there and scrap to tie that one up.
Podani now kicks to the corner. Stopping, nope, kicking it around the perimeter. Some of that scoring punch on the bench right now for Anoka. And that includes Cooper. Kicking it back out, Praw to Podani. Podani takes it to the wing. Praw looks at the 3, not there. Good man-to-man defense here for the Huskies. Good hard drive to the lane, the backhand hard off the rim. And Andover and Kopecky on the transition, stealing that ball, coming right from behind Kopecky. Pickpocketing. And a tremendous effort there for the Tornadoes. Back out front, Podani. Podani passes it over, looking to take the shot, and Deneke closed that shooting lane. Back up, trying to drive in. Good high drop off the glass. Good work on that offensive rebound, unable to convert. And now it's in possession of Deneke and the Huskies with 11 minutes to play in this first half. We'll set it up, trying to set a pick as Deneke on the Kopecky defender for the Tornadoes. Nelson kicks it off. Pemberton drives the lane, now drops it back out to Musungu, and the Huskies will refuel. It's still a 1-point lead for Anoka. Nelson for three, yes! The scoring whisper. Nelson hits his first three of the game. Landon Nelson averaging 11 a game. And 6 rebounds as well. Gets his first three. Huskies take their first lead at 14-12. Hard drive to the lane. And good. And and one opportunity. Demonstrating some great ability to kind of modify that shot. Donald Pra picks up the end one opportunity and his 5th point of the game.
Yeah, Anoka with only 2 starters in there, so they have 3 guys off the bench in there right now, and I really like their compete level. I mean, they are competing right now. Missed a couple of little bunnies in close, but are really scrappy on the rebounds, and both teams have been very good on offensive rebounding here so far in this game.
Chance for the end one. That would make 6 points here for Bra. He gets it. 6, and now it's Anoka who recaptures the lead. 15-14 out for the Huskies. Pemberton, he's grabs the towel, and in is Bagali. Cam Bagali for Andover in number 40. Another quick substitution. Back in is Cooper, and Pra will head to the bench and get a chance to reset there. A great start to the section semifinal 7-4A. The winner advances to play next Thursday night, and that will be at Chisago Lakes. Thanks for joining us on this AO broadcast now, and then you'll get the video released also to match up this audio at around midnight. 3, yes, Musungu joins the 3 party. His first points of the game, and the Huskies back up by 2. Podani tries to pick it down. He's guarded closely there by Musungu. Cooper going against Kopecky, maybe a little overactive on that dribble, and it goes off his foot for the turnover, and Andover will get the ball back. And the first timeout here being taken by the Andover Huskies. They have a 2-point lead, 17-15, and this game has not lacked energy, Pete.
No, that's for sure. Anoka really looking to take the ball to the basket. If it's not there, they're looking to kick out. Andover also making some big 3-pointers here to get themselves back in it. They were down by 6 early, but now lead by 2.
They're getting contributions from Kopecky, which is usual, Musungu, and also Nelson and Pemberton. Each of them have a 3-point make already. Coming into the game, it was Kopecky who led the team with 59 3-pointers made, make that 60. He's averaging 25. Musungu for Andover averaging 20 points a game. And of course Nelson as well, 11 points in double digits for Anoka. Again, they came off a nice 72-70 win over Blaine. In that game, Podani had 20 points, Cooper 13, and Pra had 10.
Yeah, those 2 teams are getting up and down the court, 72-70 in high school basketball. A lot of points.
Kopecky kicks out to Bagali. Bagali dribbles to the lane, then tries to hit down below and converting to Deneke. Deneke came along the baseline just as Bagali moved up top. Deneke's 2nd point, 4th point of the game. First assist for Bagali, and Andover back up by 4, 19-15. To the lane here, looking to stop. Nope, kicks out to Podani in the corner. Podani, physical drive to the lane, and takes it to the bank for 2.
Yeah, nice drive by Podani there. They kicked it out to him. Instead of shooting the 3, he faked the 3 and drove to the basket.
Deneke was awake. Good hands to receive the ball. Gets it, 1 dribble, reverse layup, and 2 for Deneke, 21-17. Deneke now with 6. Musungu on the dime. Anoka up top. Podani from the parking lot. Off the front of the rim, no good. Here comes Bagali. Transition to Musungu. Musungu shields off the defender, puts in the right-handed layup and converts on the transition. And Andover starting to heat it up here. A team again averaging 85 points a game, and they now have a 6-point lead. Musungu with 5.
Well, they've been here before, Joe. You know, they were in the state tournament last year. A lot of players back from last year's team. They know what it feels like to be there, and they know how good it is, and they want to go back again. So we're going to see the best out of Andover, and they're playing good basketball. But Anoka's competing here right now, and they're down by 6.
Defensively, Huskies are giving up 72 points a game to their opponents. Obviously, for Coach Jeremy Hable, that's always a work in progress in terms of shutting that down, especially coming here postseason when defense matters. Off the dribble, Bagali closely guarding. They're going to call a push-off that time on number 11 for the Tornadoes.
That's Kevin Shield. He's just a 10th grader coming in as that backup guard.
So Shear picks up his first foul, and that's, I have it for team foul now number 5 for Anoka. Kopetsky out to the wing to Bagali. Bagali rotates it up top. Musungu thinks about the 3, and they're going to call a foul there as Pra used his hand to obstruct the progress of Musungu, who was trying to draw him in on the fake and take him on the layup. So just the first foul on Pra. And those team fouls starting to build here for Anoka. 8 and change to go first half. Kopetsky baseline kicks to Tate Johnson. 3-ball corner pocket. Cash. 5 different players now with 3-point makes for the Huskies, and they're back at 25-17. Their largest lead of the game in the first half. Down below, trying to move and muster and muscle his way up. Gets the shot off, and then off the hustle play. Goes off the hands of Deneke as he's bumped from behind. So it'll be Anoka inbounding the ball. Pemberton back in, and Musungu will take the bench with 7:48 to go.
Yeah, Deneke's been very active here early for Andover on the offense and defensive board. Also has 4 points in the game.
Kicks out on that inbound. Podani being guarded by Pemberton, backs it up. Looks for a maybe clear out on that right side. Takes it to the lane, gets the runner, tosses it up, and draws the foul on Pemberton. As you could see that he had instructed Cooper to move from the right side to the near side of the court so he could try to drive it down the right side of the lane. He'll be at the free throw line. That is Podani, averaging 13 a game.
Yeah, last time they played Andover, Podani was in the mid-20s, so they've obviously worked on trying to shut this kid down.
Of course, you can't forget the contributions from Regan Reeder. It sounds like a shoulder injury for him. And, of course, the contributions was a double-double from Reeder. Greatly missed at 13 points, 10 rebounds a game. You hope he's back in time for baseball.
Well, absolutely. That's for sure. With this snow, he probably won't start the season until April.
Another 3-ball off the far end by Pemberton. Kopetsky skies for the rebound and cashes it into the bank for 2. Good little ROI that time, as picked up the rebound and converted it for a quick 2. As Kopetsky as well now with 6. And the Huskies with that 8-point lead. There's a travel called on Anoka.
Anoka's in the danger area right now, down by 8 points with just a little over 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. They can't get much more separation here with Andover.
Number 40 back in here for Anoka, and I'm trying to get that number. Pete, if you have it, I do not, but I'll look it up online. It isn't listed on the program. The Huskies coming off a nice win over Coon Rapids, 97-48 in the quarterfinals. Huskies running the rotations here on that offensive set. Pemberton to the baseline, finds Deneke, and Deneke, I'll tell you, he knows how to create that spacing and get it open. A nice left-handed dish that time by Pemberton. And I'll tell you, Deneke is creating a nice ROI. He's got 8 points. Steal, Deneke gets the steal and brings it up, draws the foul. He looked like he maybe wanted to throw that down. But Deneke, one of those X factors, we're talking about him developing throughout the season, and I go, Coach Abel impressed with his development and commitment and the ability to come off the bench and bring some instant juice if it's on the boards. Offensively and defensively, he played well against Park Center as well and put together a nice run for the Andover in that game.
Yeah, so he's kind of been the X factor here so far, Joe, in this game here. He's doing a nice job for Andover, getting himself to the line this time.
Deneke gets the members roll on the first free throw attempt and drops it down. He's 1 for 3 from the charity stripe, a point away from double digits. Substitutions, Borchers comes back in for Anoka. And against Prawl, lined up down low in the block on this free throw attempt. A chance here for the Huskies. Convert in and out. Good offensive rebound by Tate Johnson. Thought he had it, but missed it a little hard off the backboard. And now back comes Anoka, down by 11. Hard drive to the lane. Prawl has that thing almost stall on the top of the rim. And here comes Kopetsky. Transition time for Andover. Coast to coast, and drawing the foul is Kopetsky. And he will go to the line with 6:13 to go. Andover at that 30-19 margin right now, and Kopetsky takes it off the iron and takes that one coast to coast, delivers just like FedEx. And Kopetsky here a chance to put up 8.
Yeah, that's 2 now on Podani, so we have to watch that for Anoka because he is a very important part, and they're taking him out of the game right now, which is probably a good move. Yeah,
I mean, he's the player. 13 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Podani, he picks up his second, as you mentioned, Pete. And meanwhile, it is Kopetsky who puts in 2 from the free throw line, and Andover now up a 32-19. To the lane here, kicked out. Cooper thought about it, now kicks it back out the corner there to Borchers. Borchers looks to Prawl. Prawl, a dribble. A spin back out. This is a good drive to the lane. Converted. No, in and out. That looks like one of those carnival ramps. In and out.
Did.
Pemberton on the transition, coming back to the baseline. Spin move, cuts out, finds Deneke, but he's been in there way too long probably. 3 seconds, that's what I was thinking. And that's what will happen. Deneke will come out. Nelson back in for the Huskies. 5:44 to go. A rare turnover so far here for Andover, but that was certainly a case where probably the Andover player needed to take the shot to prevent that 3-second. But a selfless act there to get the ball to Deneke. Down the lane, kicked out Cooper. Cooper draws a charge and gets the charge. It's Musunga who picks up the charge. And it will be 5:33 to go, and that is the first foul on Cooper. That's the 8th team foul for Anoka, because it's a backcourt foul. That charge is not a 1-and-1. Musunga spins in the lane, tips it high off the glass. That touched some of the cumulus clouds of the snow coming down outside, high off the glass, and converts it for 2. And Musunga now has 7. Prawl, baseline kick, a runner inside, and closing it up on a beautiful move is Sure.
Sure, just a sophomore for Anoka, so they have 3 young sophomore guards on this team. The future looks pretty bright.
Musunga drives to the lane, tangled up, and he draws a foul. The last outing on February 8th against Anoka, in which it was a tight battle, 84-79, Kopetsky with 24. Sam Musunga with 23 and Nelson with 14. Meanwhile, for Anoka, it was Podani with 26 and Cooper with 18. Borchers with 14. And now on the missed free throw, here comes Anoka back. Musunga missed the front end of the 1-on-1, little push. And then a shot from the free throw line. A fade away there. And a rebound. Here comes Kopetsky trying to transition back, short on the layup, but gets his own rebound. Nelson has a look for 3 and says, "I'll take it." Cash. 4:25 to go in this first half, and Andover up 37-21 after the 3 by Nelson, his second 3 of the game.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a 3-point shooter, does he, Joe? But he just keeps his feet on the ground and puts it up. He's kind of like slow-mo from the Timberwolves.
Musunga transition, left-handed layup off the turnover, and good. Musunga now with 9 and a timeout for Anoka. And head coach Jesse Jefferson as they try to regroup. And you mentioned, you know, Pete, when it was about a 7-8 point lead for Andover, that they needed to be concerned about not letting this game get away.
Well, exactly. And Anoka came out and took a 12-6 lead. So since that time, it's been all Andover. And you see the composure of a couple of the Anoka players over there. They got to keep their cool. There's still a lot of game to play. You know, there is no tomorrow. So keep your head in the game and see if you can chip away here and try to chip into this lead here before halftime.
Winner of this game will take on Duluth East and the Cambridge Isanti Blue Jackets. Those two teams play immediately following this game. Games were moved up. This was originally scheduled for 3 p.m. But they moved it up to noon because of the storm coming in, and actually initially was supposed to be a hard drizzle and a hard wind. Also a very forceful wind, tough to travel on, so that's why they wanted to get that second game in the books, but the snow beat everyone.
It sure did. I got about halfway up here and I'm going, all right, this is okay. I'll just be bad on the way back. And then it kind of deteriorated. I think up north here a little ways there's a little bit more snow, but got a good basketball game going on right here, and we'll see what happens.
I love the Saturday afternoon section basketball. Winner advances to the Section 7-4A final on Thursday. Borcher takes it to the lane, spins back out, kicks it there, sure fakes. And Mono runner connects. Beautiful move for the sophomore from Anoka. He faked the three, and you saw the Andover player flying by, and then he had a floater in the lane. Kopetsky left hand reverses, and almost Nelson tries a quick follow-up with the tip, unable to grab that, and back will come Anoka on the move. Podeni, spin move, nice finger roll and spin. Oh, that was big time by Podeni.
Yeah, nice response here by Anoka to cut the lead to 14. It'll be 13 if he can make this free throw. But Priest Gibino with a nice rebound for Anoka, competing down there with big Landon Nelson. So that's what triggered that fast break, and a great move there by Podani.
Anoka coming out of that timeout has outscored Andover 4-0. The chance for this and one opportunity for Podani, and cannot convert. Deneke with the board. 3:20 to go. Andover still up by 14, 39-25. Kopetsky surveys. Looks to be that zone D. Nope, they're going to drop back out to that man-to-man on the matchup. Kopetsky to the lane on the left-hand floater off the rim too hard. Musungu's tied up on the rebound, but they're going to call a foul on the Tornadoes. Nope, they're going to... Well, both coaches are a little frustrated with the call. It looks like the foul is going to be on Musungu, and that'll be his second.
Yeah, I think he had the ball, and then the Anoka player kind of got inside him, and next thing you know, his arms were around him.
Van Stringy.
Here's another look at it right here.
Van Stringy now into the game. Musungu will take a bench. Yep, that was a tough call. To the lane, Cooper, good hard drive. But you gotta like how Tornadoes take it to the lane with some conviction, and in that case, Cooper draws the foul on Andover. For Andover, their 6th team foul here in the first half. Inbounding back, looks to the lane, a good move. Left-handed shot in and out for Anoka, no good. Back the other way here is...
Looks like a little mishandle there by Andover, and Anoka will retain possession. But I'll tell you what, Anoka's had 4 or 5 balls that didn't quite go down, and you thought they were going down, and we're going to get a hold right here, right off the inbounds.
Not sure if they called that on Nelson or Deneke, but quickly on this trip down, the Huskies have accumulated a couple more fouls, and that puts Anoka into the bonus. Tate comes out. Deneke will step out as well, or Tate Johnson in. Deneke heads to the bench.
Yeah, that foul was on Deneke, so that is his second. They're going to set him probably till halftime, along with Sam.
Like the snow outside, the fouls are starting to accumulate here late in the first half.
I like that, Joe. That's good.
Little Joe talk on the way here. Missing that front end, boy. Anoka leaving some points. on the doorstep there, unable to convert on some free throws. So under 3 to play, Kopecky brings it up. 3 to play in the first half. Bagali looks at the 3, thinks about it, now tries to get it back out front. Tate Johnson makes a save to prevent the over and back. Good job. Tate Johnson fakes the shot to the lane, pops back out to Bagali. Bagali looks to drive the lane, continues on the floater. Short, gets his own rebound and follows it in for 2.
Yeah, as soon as Frecking hit the floor, kind of cleared the lane there for him to come back in and scoop up his rebound.
CV Cam Bagali, his first 2 of the game. Andover up 16, 41-25, 2.5 to play. Here in the first half, faking the transition handoff, a nice cut underneath and a scoop move to the bank for Podani. A steal by Cooper. His 3 hard off the rim as he picked it off from Kopecky from behind. Nelson tries to convert quickly. Tate Johnson, a fadeaway bank. Yes, for Andover.
Well, a big part of this game was getting contribution besides your big 2 for Andover, and Andover is getting that. Everybody on the floor has been scoring points. They are playing an excellent basketball game.
Podani, ring it up for 3 for Podani. He's now got 11. And back to just a 13-point deficit for Anoka. Kopecky on transition. Bagali in the corner. Bagali 3.
There's another one of those guys coming off the bench contributing to Andover's cause.
Good pace to this game. Transition time. Scrapping for it. Fracking had it momentarily. Now Podani scoops it underneath. Cooper waits for the first flyby there by Bagali. And then he goes up with the ball, draws the foul. He'll be at the free throw line with 1:11 to go in this first half. 46-30 for the Huskies. And they will send Cooper to the line. He's got 4 to match his jersey.
Yeah, he needs to sink these 2 free throws. Just a little over a minute left here in half, and Anoka wants to cut into that lead.
Just barely hits the front of the rim. A shot by a free throw attempt by Cooper, averaging 8 points a game. Cooper had 18 points the last time these 2 teams met on February 8th. Pete. Unable to get the second. Good hustle there to save off that rebound by Anoka. Down low, Fracking converts. Nice move, good dime. And they closed it up. Again, that's Fracking.
Yeah, nice dish there by Cooper.
Kopecky uses the screen, but they're going to call an offensive foul on, if it is going to be Kopecky or is it going to be on Tate Johnson for an illegal pick? I think it's on Tate Johnson.
Yeah, I believe it is on Johnson here.
A little too much movement on that pick. 53 seconds left in this first half. And bringing some scoring punch back in here is Borchers. Borchers averaging 14 points a game. Back in, he has just the lone 3-pointer he made early in the first half. Anoka brings it up. That's Podani. Podani kicks it to Fracking. Back to Podani. And all alone on the pick. I don't know how he got that wide open, but he went across the left elbow. Quick move, and Podani gets the dime. Fracking gets the deuce. 30 points. 30 seconds left in this first half. Down by 12 is Anoka, and Nelson has the ball for Andover. They'll probably take the last shot here as Nelson kicks it to Von Strange. Cross court, Kopecky all alone in the corner is Tate Johnson. That misses everything, but Nelson works the rebound free, puts up the fadeaway, no good. Coming back in, Bagali with the follow-up. His shot is blocked. 3 seconds remaining. Trying to forward it ahead to Pra. He'll put it up off the back of the rim. And we are at the end of a chaotic first half. Andover with a 46-34 lead at the end of one. And it started fast, and it continued to get faster, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. We're 46-34 at half, and Anoka made a little bit of a push there. It's too bad they couldn't get that last one there. But, boy, in that offensive board, Andover was tough. But we're going to have a great second half here, so stick around.
Podani also starting to get into the flow. He leads Anoka with 11, and 46-34 at half. We'll return with the second half here on this QCTV Sports presentation.
Welcome to our winter edition of At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our area high school sports. I'm your host, Chuck Stens. Andover boys and girls hockey look to capitalize on their outstanding dual state championships last year. In order to continue their success into this season, let's talk with the head coaches from both teams to see what the teams have to bring.
I'm Melissa Volk, and this is my 10th year at Andover. Our expectations are kind of similar every single year to be getting better, as the season goes and be playing our best hockey come February. We're a year older. Last year we were super young with so many freshmen on the team, and now kids are kind of filling some different roles and kind of figuring it out this year. Our captains, Ella Berger, Issa Gettle, Maddie Brown, that top line of ours, and then also Kaylin Mum back at D, Courtney Stegman, our goalie, but then a lot of other players that fill some huge roles for us and give us that depth that we need. Yeah, so every game, we kind of get excited for, and another opportunity to play with our teammates and whatnot. But tomorrow we play Minnetonka, so that's a big game. And then we're in the Dyna tournament after Christmas. Yeah, we love our youth girls. We're so lucky to know all of them on such an individual basis. But the biggest thing that we preach here is just working hard and having a good attitude.
My name's Mark Manny. I'm the head coach of the boys hockey team at Andover High School. Well, last year's team, a lot of our skill up front was underclassmen, and when you have underclassmen leading your team on offense, they don't feel the pressure that seniors feel. So they tend to kind of play loose and play very well. Seniors sometimes, get the feeling it might be their last game if they lose, and sometimes that leads to not playing well. So we had the perfect combo last year of great senior leaders who were calm under pressure and juniors who played free. We'll see what we have this year. Our best players are going to be seniors this year, and sometimes, like I say, that's not a great recipe, and sometimes it is. So we hope our young guys get better every game, and then we get good leadership, and I think this team will be pretty good by the end of the year. Well, up front, our three big guys are Gavin Thorson, Caden Casey, and Cooper Conway. Casey and Thorson both had over 70 points last year. Conway was hurt about half the year, so he had his offensive numbers didn't look quite as impressive, but they're going to be our leaders up front. Throw in senior Mac Yell, and we're looking for big things offensively from him, and junior Ben Dahl as well. And after that, we're going to see who steps forward and kind of takes the mantle and runs. On the backside, Tristan May Robinson, senior captain, who's been a stalwart for us for 2 years now, and will be again for a third. And then Landon Stringfellow, a junior who played a regular shift last year and is getting better by the day. Back in the net, we lost Austin Bronze, who was probably the best goalie in Minnesota last year. So we're just looking for who's going to step forward and take that job. We've got 4 very capable goalies, and any of them could be our starter by the end of the year.
The Tornadoes have some new dedicated members of their cheerleading squad. Let's check in with them to learn some more.
I started coaching this year. I used to coach at a different school for an elementary competitive team, so this is kind of a switch up, but I really like it.
My name is Jordan Waldinger, and I've been coaching here for 4 years. I'm going to be going on 5. I came here to be the assistant coach just right after I graduated high school, so I've been here for a bit.
Last year was kind of rough for us. We had a lot of drama, a lot of issues, but I feel like this year we have the most committed and hardworking team that I've ever seen.
Yeah, we are this is some of the most hardworking girls I've ever met. They're so committed. They want to win. They want to be here every day. They want to put in the work, and they want to get that bid.
I think there's just more energy, more effort. So I just think this team is just miles different than it was last year. They want to be here. I can tell they want to be here. They want to put in the work. They're putting in work outside of practice.
Yeah, the drive is really there. I enjoy it.
We learned from our middle school coaches that were old Anoka cheerleaders that learned different ways and different techniques and stuff. And basically, when we got our new coach, Caitlin, she brought in some new cheers that she did with her old team.
Also cheers that she had learned in high school herself.
Yeah.
So cheers end up kind of just being a big collaboration of what ends up working for the team and like what we like the most.
Our pyramids that we do in our competitive routine, we have performed them at football games. just to kind of practice it in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And we've done a couple of routines at Pet Fest.
I think games that we cheer at, I feel that's more performing, and competitions I do view as like competing. Like it's more intense.
Our first competition of the year usually is regionals, and it's always the Saturday before Halloween. And then after that, we have competitions usually on Saturdays, every weekend or every other weekend kind of after that.
Until like late February when Nationals is.
When I got hired, that was my goal to the AD, was I would like to take this team to Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge goal for coaches as well.
Yeah.
So.
Coaching this team, we've gotten 2 bids, I think, and we just haven't gone yet. So I think that's always my goal.
Nationals. We want to get a bid.
Nationals. Yep.
The Rebels gymnastics team is committed to setting goals and improving throughout the season. Let's see what the team is up to and how they plan to seek success this winter.
We're down a bit, but I've always said I want to work with athletes who will work hard. Like, if you love gymnastics and you work hard, that's who I want to work with. And we've got a core group of great girls. We've got an awesome senior leader in Melina Ung. I don't know anybody that's worked harder. So it's been a pleasure to coach her, and she's already been an awesome, invaluable captain, and I know that will keep going through the season.
We lost about half of our team, I'd say, and then we got a lot of new middle schoolers, which is really nice, so that we have a really young team right now, and I think the season will be really fun. We have our summer practices, and then we also do, I tried to do monthly team bondings over the summer before season started.
So the technique is the thing that takes a little bit more time and repetitions to build, and well, really all those things, strength, flexibility, but the strength and flexibility are what we really focus on as a coaching staff. Of those are things we can control. If you're doing your splits daily and really working it, you'll get more flexible. If you're doing shoulder stretches, and we do partner shoulder stretches and a lot of different stretches, you'll get more shoulder flexibility. So the strength and flexibility we focus on a lot. We focus a lot on improvement. So it's always a goal of ours with both our varsity and JV to have the team from that first meet to the end meet improve 8 to 10 points. And last year I think we got almost to 12 with the varsity, and I think maybe even 13 with the JVs. So those continue to be our goals. So this year we're just focusing on rebuilding those good team habits and that mentality towards improvement. And we're going to try and beat those teams that are at that same level that we're at, and show that we worked to be our best on that day.
That's it for this edition of At the Half. Make sure to keep up to date with all your local sports coverage by liking and subscribing to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Thanks for watching.
Second half just about to begin here. Joe Rulin along with Pete Hayes. This is the Section 7 4A semifinal as the Huskies taking on Anoka. This is their third meeting of the season. And Pete, Huskies had a pretty impressive first half as we get a look at a quick summary here. And they collected a variety of three-point points. And look at the introductions there for Anoka. Anoka led by Peyton Podani. He had 11 and leads both teams. There's a three-ball corner pocket connected by Borchers. Another three-ball corner pocket by Pra. And then down low the dish to Nelson. Nelson has 8.5. The Huskies underway here and already convert from the three. And a series of 3 points. A big three-point party happened for Andover in that first half off the three here to start the second. They're back up to 49-34. Into the lane. Thinks about it again. Borchers dribbles in, back out again. This is a three from Pra. Yes, for three.
Well, Musungu came out and got a big three for Andover, just what Anoka did not need, but Pra comes right back and scores a three for Anoka, and we're back to a 12-point game.
Nelson gets a look at three. Cash from the corner. Nelson, his third three of the afternoon. He's got now his 11th.
They are shooting the ball from three.
Moving it down, a cutter to Pra, converts. Good quick cut, good eyes by Frecking to distribute a beautiful dime. Turnover now for Anoka trying to convert. Really aligns that body, good body control, and Cooper for two. And now they're dumped back into it like just an 11-point deficit. They can hold the Huskies this possession down. They get a chance to get to single digits, and there is the rain down. Musungu brings it in from the parking lot. Dust off the ball, the snow on the ball, and puts it down for three. He's 2 for 2 from three-point range here to start the second half, and Andover back up by 14, 55-41. From three, Frecking tries it, front of the rim, Kopetsky the board. Kopetsky transitioning it up, looks, surveys, takes it hard to the lane, body control, gets the end one opportunity, and he goes to the bank for two.
Well, Anoka showed a little life here in the second half, but the two senior leaders for Andover come back and scored 8 points for them right away.
Musungu had 9 at half. He now has 15, and Kopetsky converts on an end one. He has 11. Just under 16 to play. Just as fast a start to the second half as he had in the first. Good body control there by Cooper as he tries to split the defense of the bracket play by the Huskies, and he'll draw the foul, go to the line to shoot two, and that foul was whistled on Tate Johnson, his second.
Well, Anoka's trying hard to stay in this ball game. It's not like they haven't come out and scored some points. The problem is they haven't had the answer defensively to shut down Andover, who has 58 points here early in the second half.
I mentioned Andover averaging 85 a game. Anoka at 68. Anoka comes in, hits both of those free throws, so they came in to the semifinal section matchup with a record of 12 and 15. Kopetsky brings it up, takes it to the court, dishes it to the corner. Nelson Cash from the corner.
Boy,
Nelson.
He likes it out there, Joe. The big guy likes it out there.
Nelson lighting it up. I tell you, he is the scoring whisperer. He's also a rebound whisperer, but he's a critical part of this Andover offense, along with Deneke in that component, a key X factor. Out of bounds, it'll be awarded to Anoka, and the Huskies with that 18-point lead, ready to defend. And Lane gets it on the dribble drive down the lane. Frecking is rewarded for two there.
Yeah, nice dish there by Borchard, driving down the line, dishes off. Here he is again.
Rushed that shot just a little bit hard off the iron, and a rebound to Podani, and a foul drawn here. Is that on Tate Johnson? If it is, that's going to be his third, but they're going to give it to Pemberton, and that's Pemberton's third. Deneke will probably come in. He's coming in for Tate Johnson. I thought he might be coming in for Pemberton.
Yeah, the fouls are racking up for Andover right now, so they got to kind of watch that. Their two big leaders, though, are not in foul trouble at all, in Sam and Kopetsky.
Borchers and then on the switch. Podani back to Borchers. Borchers dribbles near the lane, and they're going to call a push off there on Nelson. As they say, he was a bit overzealous defensively that time for Andover.
Yeah, Nelson's not liking the call, but I haven't come across a player yet that likes the call.
Frecking on the inbound. Back out to Cooper. Crossover dribble, kicks it out to the lane. Borger, a runner, hits the front of the rim, sealed off and the board by Pemberton. South of 15 to play, second half. The Huskies have the 16-point lead in this section semifinals. Musungu 2 for 2 from three, takes this to the elbow. Steps back, stalls that dribble a bit, out to Pemberton. They'll swing it and rotate it around the court. Back to Musungu, gets a different look, drives the lane, kick back, three ball corner, short by Pemberton, and the rebound by Borcher all the way down. Quick long pass down underneath the scoop drive, draws the foul on Deneke. Deneke, that would be his 3rd foul, and that is going to put Pra at the free throw line.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Andover has a little bit of depth because they have, I believe, 4 players now that have 3 fouls. They're going to go a little bit deeper into their bench right now.
Trying to, hey, this helps the 2 things. Slows the pace down here for Anoka, lets them hit it, but I was going to say they can get points while the clock is stopped, but they can't if they cannot convert those free throws. Hitting the front of the rim there was Pra. So he'll get a second.
And Deneke's going to go to the bench for Andover with 3 fouls on him here early in the second half.
In and out. The rebound by Pra. Or excuse me, the free throw by Pra. Rebound by Nelson. Nelson, you know, pretty much not uncommon for him to get double-doubles. He works the boards and rewarded with that. Pemberton, nice smooth drive inside. A good defensive effort there by Fracking on the transition. So, picks it up, puts it in. Pra converts on a quick transition off the defensive rebound by Fracking. Pra now has 13 and has the team lead. Musungu has the game high with 15.
Yeah, Fracking with a nice block and then showed that quarterback arm and threw a nice dime down to Pra for the 2.
Musungu drives the lane, draws the foul. He'll be at the charity stripe, down by 14. Here is Anoka as you get a look at the foul on Fracking, his 3rd.
Fracking's a 3-sport player. He played baseball for me this summer. He'll be a pitcher on our team this year. So
good fastball,
future.
Breaking ball. What's he have?
He's got a little of both, and you know that his sister is the all-conference sophomore.
Yeah,
and she is a very good basketball player too.
I'm looking forward also to watching that softball team for Anoka. Musungu converts on that second on the free throw line. He's got 16. You've got the catcher who's going to be going to the U of M as well.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a player. Enjoy watching that softball squad. 3 here for Borchers. Picks up his second 3. The first one came early in the first half. He's got 6.
Anoka's not going away.
Kopetsky at the elbow, chips it back to Tarleton. Tarleton has not had much playing time tonight. And then it's Pemberton who gets the board, but it's tangled up. They'll call it a possession, and it's awarded to Anoka. 13-18 to go. And you're right. You know, they've had a chance to kind of get up by, like, say, 20, 22 Andover, but they dangle around, and then Anoka brings it back to what it is, 12. And with a 3-pointer, they can bring that deficit to single digits here.
Yeah, we were there at halftime, a 12-point lead, and looked like Andover was going to run away with it, but Anoka's right back.
A little Euro step, and that drew the charge. Kopetsky was there, and Schur, who had a nice runner in the first half and 4 points at half, draws the foul on that runner. And Musungu lines this up, misses the 3, his first miss from behind the perimeter here in the second half, but he still has 16. Here comes Schur on the transition. Tried to kick it down low to Cooper in the corner, but Kopetsky got a hand on that. Kopetsky leads the team in steals for Andover. As he deflected that one, he averaging 3 steals a game, has 79 on the season. Podani here looking up, has Musungu on him. Surveys the defensive scheme. Little weave and back out top. A good hard drive by Horcher, kicks it out. Podani gets the look for 3, front of the rim, back of the rim, and rolls off. Rebound to Nelson. Here comes Kopetsky on the transition. Kopetsky crossover dribble, kicks back to Nelson. Nelson sets a pick to Musungu, but Musungu goes to the lane, and the end one opportunity. 18 on the afternoon for Musungu, and what a strong move.
Boy, that's a turnaround right there, Joe. Podani had a good look for Anoka. Could have cut this to single digits. Instead, it's up to 14 right now. A chance to go to 15 with a free throw.
There you get a look heading to Cornell University. Musungu to play some football there as an excellent wide receiver. And I use this one. Who's the most famous football player from Cornell that you can recall, Pete?
No idea.
Ed Marinero.
Ed Marinero.
Number 49 for the Vikings.
That's right.
Retired
he was
early,
Cornell.
went into the Hill Street Blues.
Right.
And speaking of Vikings, we're sorry to hear the news today that Bud Grant passed away today.
Did not hear that.
I did not mean to kick that chair out from underneath you, but yeah, on the way here, there was an announcement, and he passed away this morning, it sounds like.
You know, I just saw him on TV the other day. He was at a 106-year-old old Vikings fan, a nice young lady.
Yes.
And Bud showed up at her place and said hi to her, which excited her, but I thought he was looking good. That's too bad. What a great man.
It was. What an excellent coach, leader. One of the rare three-sport athletes. I think Dave Winfield was actually drafted in all three sports, right? And I'm trying to get that history back. Well, we'll get you back here to this Andover game where Musungu comes to the line out of the timeout. And Andover with a 14-point lead. And Musungu cannot get the roll. He'll stay at 18, and the lead stays at 14 for Andover. The number 1 seed here in this section. Kicks it back, knocked out. There's Musungu with that punch loose, and Nelson converts on the turnover and transition. Nelson with 16. Nice steal that time as it was induced by Musungu, who swatted it away from the ball handler from behind, and Nelson got the ROI. Here's a three, Frecking from 3. Big time, needed that, did Anoka. And now they're back to within 13, and Frecking has 11. Kopetsky back from the elbow, pulls it back. Musungu fakes the 3, drives to the lane. A floater inside, hits the front of the rim. Podani with the board. Podani surveys the court down front. Frecking running that court well. Foul's going to be whistled on Nelson. And Frecking exploded through the lane, and Podani got to him the dime.
Yeah, Frecking, who did not play a whole lot here early in the season until Reeder's injury, but he's been impressive so far tonight inside, and he's not afraid to shoot that 3 ball either.
11:27 to go here in the second half, and Frecking now puts up his 12th point of the game. He'll get another. And there, you know, it's kind of the algorithm of the game, isn't it, Pete? They get down to about 16, 17 Andover, then now we're back to within just a 12-point deficit for Anoka. Coming up on 11 if you can hit this.
Yeah, both teams are scoring at a high pace here in this second half, so it'll be interesting to see what our final score is.
Jibunor comes back in for Anoka, and back here on the transition, Nelson works it up near side. Off to Musungu. Musungu dribbles, kicks to Nelson. Nelson for 3, cash from the corner. 19 now for Nelson, and it's 69-54. Driving to the lane, Podani. A put down, nice drive. Quickly reciprocating. Kopetsky says, anything you can do, I can do better. Not quite, but he draws the foul on that left-handed scoop to the board.
Yeah, Kopetsky right now is like, you're not leaving me out of this party. You know, everybody else scoring a lot of points, and Kopetsky not up to nearly his average right now, but by the end of the game, I bet he'll be right around it.
You're right, Kopetsky. 25 is what he's averaging a game. He's also averaging 6 boards a game, 3 steals a game, and 7 assists. So he is definitely the catalyst for the squad and his way to Concordia St. Paul. And I saw Vaith out of Lakefield North, another guard. I've seen him play a few times this season. That'll be a good combination at Concordia St. Paul next year. It is Kopetsky who converts on both. He's now got 13. Andor now with 3 players in double digits. Kick out. There's a 3 look, and this is off the back of the rim, and comes back high for the rebound. Musungu stalls that dribble, then a floater off the left hand. Good put back up there by Dennegy on the rebound, but could not convert, just short. Pra looks to the card, spin move, kicks back. Borcher for 3 and money. Whoa! Borcher lights it up. He's got 9, and now back to within 12. Musungu back the other way. Fast break conversion off the glass. He's got 20, and back now to a 73-59 lead for Andover.
We got a little racehorse basketball going on here, Joe.
To the lane, drawing the foul, coming over to cover up and try to block. That was Musungu. I believe he will draw the foul if Musungu. That's his third foul here in the second half. And that will put Cooper to the line. I got to tell you, when I had covered the Andover Park Center game, that was a track meet as well. But I'll tell you, well played. Andover did not allow an offensive rebound for Park Center in the first half. And that was a difference maker. I know Coach Habel had emphasized that. In fact, I think they just had like their third offensive rebound come with about 7 minutes to go in the second half. They had really committed, and that's what really kept them in it, along with the transition. And they valued that ball. Certainly in each possession did Andover against Park Center, but ended up losing. But, you know, sometimes you can pick up some mojo from those losses, and the Huskies have been on the run since then. Pemberton could not handle the ball down around his ankles to get that three attempt to get it back to him. Nelson looks to spin inside, might have gotten a hack on the wrist. Deneke gets the rebound, drops it back for Pemberton, and he joins that three-party here in the second half. Pemberton now with 6, and Andover continues to escalate that lead. 76-70. Here's a three-ball perimeter. Pure net. Pure nylon. That time by Prahl.
This is fun to watch, Joe. I'm telling you what, both these teams are shooting the ball. I think Deneke's probably the only guy who doesn't have a three for Andover. Everybody else is hitting those trays.
All the cool kids have threes.
All the cool kids.
And Deneke's, I think, content with working inside, getting those rebounds, but unbelievable. Prahl now with 16. Podani has 13. He had 11 at half. Inbound to Kopetsky, baseline, kicks it to Nelson. Nelson fadeaway for three, hard off the rim. And now here comes Podani. Beautiful pass, but the long arms of Pemberton pickpockets that pass. And then it's Musungu with a nice step inside. And it's inside battle. Deneke, there's your three. He gets the two and the end one opportunity. And Deneke just been pounding and grounding inside. And I love that energy he brings in the lane and running the court well. 78-63 now for Andover in Deneke. Has 11.
Once again, one of those turning points in the game. Anoka had an opportunity to cut this to single digits, and instead Andover comes the other way, and now they're back up by 14 or 15 again.
Deneke had a chance for his three-point play, but missed the end one free throw there. Foul's going to be called on Nelson. Nelson, that'll be his fourth, I believe. Let me double check. Oh, just his third.
Well, I think pretty much the whole team except Kopetsky has three. So that's the way to spread them out if you have to foul.
It's like a trifecta of fouls up there for Andover. Musungu 3, Pemberton 3, Deneke 3, and now Nelson 3. Chance here for the front end, and boy, just missing. Those free throws could have really contributed to cutting into this deficit. And Prahl able to convert the front end of a one-on-one, and Kopetsky now with it. Kopetsky cuts it. Musungu on the wing, 3, hard off the rim, gets the bounce, and now it's brought back down by Cooper on the board, runs the court to the lane, coast to coast. Nope, dishes a dime inside and converting for that. And a nice move and a nice pass and converting. There was Nwante, I believe.
Yeah, we have not seen him in the game. That's his first minute in the game, and scores a hoop. Nice way to start.
Tim Anderson is going to give me a correction on that name. I know he will. Here comes Anoka back again underneath, and nice pump move and getting under the hand of Nelson, who did not want to pick up his fourth foul. And back to it again. This algorithm, I'm telling you, back to it with an 11 is Anoka. They will not go away. Pemberton, 3 ball, no good. Good offensive board by Nelson. Just pounds inside. The quarterback on the football team for the Huskies, but he is certainly signaling some great plays and closing it up for Andover inside. Off the miss, Musungu quickly tries to convert. He's got Pemberton to the side. A runner with the left hand, hard off the rim, gets his own rebound. Tries it again the second time, and then off the glass for 2 more. Musungu with 22 and a timeout whistled here with 7:31 to play. An 82-67 lead for Andover as they are kind of trending towards maybe trying to get to that championship game on next Thursday.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was 3 Andover guys on the board, on the offensive board. That's the difference in the game. Offensive rebounding and Anoka missing the free throws, I believe, is the difference in the game. And right now we're sitting at 15-point lead for Andover.
There you can see the brackets in the Section 7 and the 4A. Huskies a win over Coon Rapids at the quarterfinals. Anoka with their beautiful win over Blaine, again without Reeder. And then keep in mind Forest Lake took a 3-point loss to Cambridge. So Cambridge will be playing Duluth East coming up next right after this game, which was part of the reason as well while they moved up the time of the games. Then Andover and Anoka, they're heading right here. Duluth East, the 2nd seed, taking on Cambridge, the 3, right after this. And that championship game will come your way Thursday night, and that comes from Chisago Lakes.
Well, quite the winter for Andover here, but the boys and girls teams both in hockey in the state tournament, and the boys basketball team well on their way.
Making their 2nd state trip. If they do make it, I would guess they probably don't want to have to play Park Center again in that first round of the state tournament, but you'd have to draw them at some point. But they've had a couple of losses late in the season. Beautiful move. Sure picks up a nice scoop, nice wraparound, and he does not play like a sophomore, Pete.
No, he does not. Like I said, they have 3 sophomore guards that are very, very good.
Kopetsky gets to the lane, and Deneke wrestles the ball free through the hands then of Nelson inside. Pemberton converts for 2. 84-69 to the lane. Sure again off the front of the rim. Here's Deneke on the fast break. A pass from Pemberton just behind on this transition. Musungo sets up camp here and refuels, gets it to Kopetsky. Kopetsky, a hard drive to the lane, a scoop it in. He converts on the teardrop scoop. Kopetsky now with 15 in Andover at 86-69 with 6 and change to go here in the second half. Kicks up to the elbow. Kick down, Podani, 3 attempt. No, they're going to call Podani now for the charge. For Podani, that'll be a technical foul has now been whistled on the Anoka head coach. Jesse Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if that was on Jefferson. It might have been on one of his assistants on the bench. But they're talking to him and trying to calm him down here a little bit. And Andover is pushing that lead out a little bit further here.
Kopetsky converts on the free throw on the technical foul, as you see the official having a little sidebar there with Coach Jefferson. And Kopetsky in and out misses. 1 of 2 on the technical foul attempts. Kopetsky with 16 now, and Andover will inbound at half court with Nelson and, of course, an 18-point lead. That is the 3rd foul on Podani.
See, now, when I was coaching soccer, Joe, if they don't just give you a technical foul, they kick you out. So
yeah, they do.
I have a reason for leading the state and being kicked out of games.
Yeah, how many times did that happen to you?
Boy, I don't even want to count. But yeah, you said the wrong thing, and it wasn't just a technical foul. It was a red card, and we'll see you later. And the Minnesota State High School League talk to you.
Musungo looks at the 3, then they back off. So he says, I'll take the 3, misses front of the rim. Podani wrestles and gets that tip rebound. Leads the Tornadoes up the court. Switch off Praw. Good crossover dribble. Gets the scoop and 2. Well done by Praw. And Praw has 18.
Yeah, he's having a nice game for Anoka.
In the corner and the post. Kopetsky. He gets just that half a step and does a great job of sealing off the defender, Praw, that time. And Kopetsky now 18. From the elbow, stop, pop, and short as he's fouled, and that's Sure who will go to the line.
Yeah, Andover does so many things well. The number one thing, I believe, is the way that they drive to the basket. They're also able to drive and kick outside and have scored a lot of 3 points. You don't see them doing a lot of post plays, Joe, where they just knock the ball inside. So my only worry for them in a state tournament is being up against a big, tall team that likes to pound it inside, because Andover does not have that. But they have everything else at a very high level.
There you can see the foul. That time whistled on Pemberton, his 4th for Andover. And sure, gets his first of 2, 89-72 lead for Andover. 5:20 to play. Andover had a 10-game win streak that started after their second loss to Hopkins back on January 14th. And they didn't lose again until their loss on February 21st to Park Center. Those are not bad teams to lose to, although you want to pick up those W's any way you can. A couple of the losses this season for Andover, and that 27 mark have gone to Hopkins. Spin move explodes. A little too much velo off the board that time by Cooper, and the rebound, it's for Andover, and Musungu guiding his way to the lane. It's slapped there, and they're going to call a foul on Anoka, sending Musungu to the line, and a 1-and-1 as Andover is in the bonus, and we're south of 5 minutes to play in the second half.
Yeah, if you want to be state champs, you got to beat those teams. But, you know, I think Andover's, they're capable. They definitely have the material to win a state championship. They want to get there first, though, and they need to get by Anoka here today. But they're up by 18 now with less than 5 minutes to play.
Let's see how Musungu foul tripped, and he got the members roll or the shooters roll, whatever you want to call it, being first of the front end of this 1-and-1. He's now got 23, a game high 23. Make that 24 for Musungu. 4:50 to play. Podani brings it up. Frecking at the elbow. Pivots, looks, Nelson against him, kicks it back and in. Pra, step back. This three is hard off the rim. Frecking had the offensive board and was knocked loose, and they're going to award the ball to Andover. It was Anoka who came into this matchup in this section semifinal as the number 5 seed. And Pete, they had a nice win. I know I talked change with Coach Jeremy Havel. He says, I wasn't surprised with that win. As that time Musungu drove the lane, and Denicky, I think, is going to pick up his 4th foul. But Jeremy Havel said, hey, you know what? They play well. And he says, I got to tell you, Jefferson has that team playing in the right direction, and we need to be concerned about that level of play in which he's getting these guys going. And in that game, that 72-70 win for Anoka over Blaine. Podani had 20, Cooper 13, and Pra had 10. And I'm not saying that that is the reason that they're not playing well with it, but gosh, not having Rieger, that size and his ability to bring you a double-double each night.
Well, I think that's the difference too, Joe, underneath the basket, why they're getting so many offensive rebounds, because there is no Reagan Reeder under there for Anoka. But I'll tell you what, the future's bright for Anoka. They're playing 4 guys that are underclassmen, and 3 of them are sophomores that are playing a whole lot.
Yeah, Borcher's in double figures. Fast break, and on the pass, Denicky on the dime to Pemberton. Pemberton converts. He's in double digits. Back the other way, converting, and here's Frecking. A quick transition. 14 now for Frecking, and it's now a 93-76 lead for Andover. Musungu dishes to the side from the corner there. Denicky unable to convert on the 12-foot jumper from the side, and more. Back the other way comes Anoka, the Tornadoes. Stopping, popping, Cooper, 3, hard off the iron. Nelson gets the rebound. 3:40 to play. Nelson fakes, handing it back to Musungu, and dribbles down low. And now kicks it to Kopetsky, where the Huskies, a team averaging 85 a game, is now at 93.
Yeah, don't look now. They're looking for that century mark.
I think I need sweatbands when I call this game. 3-ball, corner, oh, no good. A good rebound by Denicky, back to Nelson. Extending this possession was Denicky with another offensive board. And Andover will reset near midcourt with Musungu on the transition. Back to Nelson, a power move inside, and a charge is called on Nelson. And for Nelson, that is his 4th.
Yeah, you know, I don't think Anoka's playing that bad a defense, Joe. It's just that Andover is hitting everything from outside and inside. They're just playing an excellent, excellent game. And like I said, they're closing in on the Hondo.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you leave them just a sliver of light and they'll put down 10 like no one's business. And Musunga with 23. Meanwhile, Kopetsky 18. That's usually a good 1-2 combination, but I know Coach Habel always likes to kind of making sure they're getting contributions, and he's always, you know, calling out players who are doing an outstanding job of doing just that. In fact, Pemberton is shooting 44% from 3, and Landon has become an excellent, good, and interior defender. Has Nelson, you see that, and of course they got Tate Johnson, kind of an ultimate glue guy, and then you've got Bagali out there as well. All both of them solid and contributing, and of course you've got Deneke as well. Multiple rebounds. He might be close to a double-double. He's got 10 points and is nearing close to double digits in rebounds. Anoka inbound. We approach the 3-minute mark left in this semifinal matchup. It's a runner there for the Tornadoes. I was trying to think if he was actually making a pass to Frecking coming in as he kind of floated that one up, but he's going to be awarded 2. And that will be the game for Pemberton. That's foul number 5.
Well, it's not like Andover's emptying their bench with 3 minutes here yet, because the way Anoka's putting baskets in, they're not going to put their bench in here for a little bit yet.
Bagali returns to the game. He's got 5. Pemberton ends the night. Let's say he had 12 points. Hitting the first of 2.
Pemberton and Deneke, the 2 underclassmen that play substantially for Andover, but they have a lot of pieces they're going to have to rebuild on next year. But they're not thinking about next year. They're thinking about this year right now.
Borchers now with 15. Full court press. It's disrupted, but books it back on the hands. And Nelson, a steal attempt for Borchers that time, but it came loose. Musunga takes it to the rim, and he loses control. They're going to say turnover for Andover, and the ball given to Anoka with 2:47 as they bring some full court pressure off of that make by Anoka. 15-point deficit. Podani challenged there by Kopetsky. They'll set it up. Podani drives the lane, and getting the hand inside was Kopetsky. Some incidental contact after that strip, but they're going to call Kopetsky for the foul. And that's Kopetsky's just his first foul. 2:38 remaining here in the second half.
A very competitive second half, too, with Andover winning the second half by just about a dozen points, I believe, if my Anoka math does me well.
Yahtzee, you got it. Podani now with 14 in the game, and the border of Bunker Lake Boulevard between the Andover and the Anoka squad. And Anoka trying to keep this thing, to bring it in here, and there's a timeout who's called. A full timeout is called, I think, by Coach Jefferson for Anoka. And as I mentioned, Andover with 2 wins earlier this season. The third one can always be a little bit more challenging, it appears. So get a look at the fans here in the stands, and a look at the support also coming in right now, right after is the follow-up game. And you're seeing some fans jumping in here, Pete, from Cambridge, Isanti, and Duluth East.
Yeah, that Duluth East drive might be a little dicey right now. We think we have it bad going back to the cities, but coming from Duluth, never did like that road from Duluth. It always seems to snow whenever I'm up there.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? And then I understand the wind is supposed to be a little extreme here later this evening, which was one of the reasons, too. They had the combination of icy roads, drizzle, and some high wind warnings. So Not fun to drive on that, so their goal was to get this stuff done in both these games so everyone can get home safe. But I think they thought the weather was going to be a little warmer and we'd have rain versus the snow.
Well, I think it's going to be May before we have a baseball game. So you're going to have a lot of depth in your pitching staff because I think you're going to be playing every day.
I have my blow dryer out in the front yard that I'm using to try to expedite that melt. We got to use that blow dryer somehow.
That's
now,
right.
Off the turnover, dribbles back. They're going to award the ball to Anoka. Looked like it had gone off of the Tornadoes, but getting ready to inbound is Podani.
Yeah, I think everybody in the place thought that, but only one person matters.
Look to the lane, good strong move, a reverse, and Nowak just off the back of the rim on that. And here comes Kopetsky. Kopetsky continues, looked like he was going to pull up, but he continued to charge in. Deneke on the tip, which counts as a rebound as well, so that's a 2-for-1. And he's going to get himself another chance for a 3. Because, Pete, you said the other guy who hasn't made threes is Deneke.
There it is.
It was trending, and all the cool kids have threes. And I walked that camera back, but now he's got a chance for a 3. Does Deneke, his second attempt for a 3, and his chance for his 14th point. No, unable to convert. I think I jinxed him. Put too much pressure. I'm sure he could hear me. But he's 13 points now for Deneke, and it's a 95-79 lead. Andover faking, flying by Kopetsky. Podani puts it up. Tip back to Podani. Drives the lane. Kick back. Prahl wants to drive this to the lane. Switches hands. It goes off the far part of the rim. And Nelson. Bear has those mitts on that thing and would not give it up. And Kopetsky trying to draw a foul as that's with 138 remaining. Finally, it's Prahl who's whistled for that foul. Well, an impressive point production evening for Anoka. He has 18 so far, the team high. And Frecking has looked impressive as well. Kopetsky hits his first. He's got 19.
Yeah, just whole home 19 for Kopetsky.
His high for the season, 46 against Lakeville South. Misses the second. 90 seconds left. Pass quickly back down the floor here for Anoka. Podani doesn't like what he sees. Resets the offense. Moves to the right side. Guarded there by Musunga. Stalls that dribble. Just freezes it for a minute. And then continued down the baseline. But the quick hands of Musunga knocked it out of bounds. Inbounding will be Podani. Podani for Anoka. And an inbound here. Hard drive there. Podani rotating it back around the perimeter. Prahl guarded by Nelson. Sends it across. This 3 off the rim. No good. Good attempt by Borchers. Transition back to Nelson. He's going to take this to the lane and converts on the transition. A nice dime and a dish. And we get 2 more. And now we're at 98-79 remaining. Here's a foul is whistled in, or was that just purely the timeout? But nonetheless, 59 seconds left. It appears Andover is en route to the section championship, and they will play the winner of Cambridge, Isanti, and Duluth East. That's coming up next.
Well, they are an impressive team, Andover, and they're led by a couple of senior guards who know what it's all about. They've been playing since they've been freshmen, and this is the last hurrah, and they're going to make the most of it. You know, they're against a young Anoka team that really scrapped here today, but Andover obviously the better team, and looking forward to them playing in that championship against Duluth East or Cambridge.
Second coach, you get a look there, second-year coach Jeremy Habel, trying to lead the Huskies back to the state tournament in the second consecutive season. It's a nice little portfolio to start in your coaching career. 59 seconds left. Inbounding will be Anoka. That will be Prahl at midcourt. He'll get it to Coop, roll it in there. And the pickup begins. Bagali is on Cooper. Cooper rifles a pass just beyond the reach and through the hands of a teammate for the Tornadoes, and that's a turnover. Pra will come out. That's the game for him. Impressive 18-point performance for Pra.
Anoka getting some young guys in there, including Brody Lackinen, who's only a freshman.
Bagali kicks it wide. Some players in. Jason Blankenship in for the Huskies. Blankenship in. Number 13 down below, along with Addis. Joining in there, and so with foul here, going to the line, Bagali. 98 points, trying to hit the century mark here with 30 seconds left as Andover.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's a 19-point game.
Check that, this just in, 20.
And here's the chance for 100.
30 seconds left here. Congratulations and applause there, support by fans as those players in Anoka giving it a run. Missy. I got a hunch Bagali's going to hear that from his teammates.
Yes, I do too.
A few syllables. Down below to the corner. Now looking for the three. Nope. Puts it back. This three is up and good for three. Late in the game, but hitting that clutch shot. A good one coming in as Farah. His first three of the game, but the Huskies will dribble what's out left of the clock here with 4 seconds left. Andover en route to a 99-82 semifinal section 7-4A win this afternoon against Anoka. What a track meet and what a demonstration of athleticism by both teams in that first half and early in the second half as well.
Yeah, that was really a fun game. A lot of athleticism on display here. Andover coming up with a 99-82 win, going on to that next game against East or Cambridge, but they're going to be tough to beat. But future's bright for Anoka, and the future's now for Andover.
Well, you're right, and we get to look at the player of the game here as we get a look before we sign off. But an explosive offensive display again by Andover, coming away with the win tonight. Looking, hitting the threes early, and there's Nelson. Total for the night, I believe he had 24 points and hit a series, a collection, shall we say, of trifectas and converted on some of those fast breaks, also some big-time rebounds. And it was a nice win tonight for the Andover Huskies, or this afternoon on a snowy Saturday. I'm Joe Rulin along with Pete Hayes. Thanks to the whole crew coming on up here in that blizzard in the truck, led by Ryan on the production and all the camera crew as well. We got Stash to the right as well. Thanks for joining us. It is a big win tonight. The Huskies take away a section semifinal win over Anoka. They advance now to the championship on Thursday for the section championship. I'm Joe Rulin along with Pete Hayes. Have yourself a major league day at a minor league price.